Next topic is the ionic compound and the electrical conductivity. Ionic compounds can conduct electricity when dissolved in water, as they will dissociate it into their ions, positive and negative ions, having the ability to conduct electricity. See how, as if we are going to dip two rods in a ionic compound, one of the rod is connected with the battery, negative terminal of the battery, another rod is connected with the positive terminal of the battery. The rod which is connected with the positive terminal is known as anode. The rod which is connected with the negative terminal is known as cathode. When we switch on, the bulb will glow. This indicates that the ionic compound are good conductor of electricity. Now let's study electrolysis with the help of an example. We'll take the solution of copper sulfate. This is an aqueous solution, so that's why the copper sulfate get dissociated in positive and negative ions, Cu2 plus, so these are copper ions, positive ions, and sulfate SO4 2 minus negative ions. So this dissociation takes place as I have explained you earlier in case of NaCl. Now this is the positive terminal, this is negative terminal. So the rod which is connected to the positive terminal here is known as anode, and the rod which is connected to the negative terminal is known as cathode. Here the positively charged particle obviously are going to attract towards the negatively charged rod, that means cathode. So let's see what happened at cathode. So the reaction at cathode, copper ions, okay, so the positive ions of copper attracted towards the negative terminal, accept two electrons and form copper in the form of solid, okay. And at anode, what happened? Here we are going to take the copper rod, okay. The rod itself is a copper, but it is connected to the positive terminal, so that's why it is positively charged rod. Now at anode, what happened? This copper, which is in the form of a solid, get dissociated and release two electrons here, because the copper sulfide ion, the negatively sulfide ion, and this negatively sulfide ion combine with the copper rod to form copper sulfate, and the negative two electrons are released by this rod and it is going in this direction. So this is the electrolysis reaction. Students, let's see an experiment to identify electrolyte and non-electrolyte solution. So students, now we are going to conduct one experiment of electrolysis. As I have explained you about the electrolysis, let's see with the help of experiment. So first of all, I want to show you two terminals. Here are the two terminals, positive and negative. Through these terminals are connected to two rods, cathode and anode. Now we are going to dip these electrodes in one of the chemical. Let's see what happens. So here you can see that bulb glows. Now that means this chemical is electrically conductive. Okay, the bulb glows indicate that it is an electrolyte which is good conductor of electricity. Now let's see what happened in another solution. In this solution, when we switch on, bulb does not glows. This indicates that this chemical is not a good conductor of electricity. Now the chemical in which you have seen that as you see bulb glows in this chemical is a solution of NaCl, sodium chloride, which is a good conductor of electricity. So from this experiment we come to the conclusion that these two chemicals are electrolyte. Bulb glows means it's an electrolyte, and the solution in which bulb does not glow is a non-electrolyte solution. Now this is a solution of copper sulfate. As I have explained you the electrolysis of copper sulfate theoretically. Now let's see experimentally how the electrolysis takes place in copper sulfate. In this chemical also, in this solution, the bulb glows. When we switch on, bulb glows. This indicates that it is also good conductor of electricity. Now in this case, the copper sulfate get dissociated in copper ion and sulfate ion. If you are going to keep for few hours, then what will happen? The color of copper sulfate is going to faint. What is electrolysis? The decomposition of the solute in the solution took place due to the electric current is called electrolysis. Now let's see the electrolysis of water. Here first we'll see the battery. Battery is having positive terminal and negative terminal. Observe carefully, this positive wire is connected here. So this is known as anode. This negative terminal is connected here. So this is known as cathode. So positive and negative terminals are reached here, right? And now we are going to fill up this with water. Two test tubes are inverted in this manner. During the electrolysis of water, hydrogen and oxygen gases are released at cathode and anode. Let's see how. So first I will explain this water. This water H2O is actually having one H ion and OH ion. Okay, so these two. Now at the cathode what happened? This H ion, these two H ion take electrons and form hydrogen gas. Okay, from two molecules of water, two H ions combine together to form hydrogen gas, and OH. From two molecules, two OH ions will remain in the form of ion. Okay. Now at anode what happened? At anode, from the two molecules of water, from two molecules such ions are there. Here what happened? H ion, from two molecules, 4 H ion is going to dissociated and it is going to release 4 electrons. The oxygen is combined to form oxygen gas and 4 electrons are going to release at the. So at cathode, hydrogen gas is going to release, the bubbles of hydrogen gas we can see, and at anode oxygen gas is going to liberate.